The isolation and loneliness experienced by a farmer in eastern Washington in the late 1800s and early 1900s were profound and multifaceted, shaped by the vast and unforgivable landscape, the sparse population, and the demands of farming. The work of farming in this area was relentless and solitary. Farmers spent long hours alone in the fields, plowing, planting, and harvesting by hand or with the aid of simple tools and animals. The seasonal cycle dictated their lives. With few breaks to escape the grind of labor, isolation amplified the mental strain, leaving little opportunity for distraction or relaxation. Without modern conveniences, farmers were also responsible for constructing their homes, repairing their tools, and maintaining livestock, tasks that often required ingenuity and resilience. The absence of social support networks heightened feelings of loneliness, as there was rarely anyone to share the burdens or joys of daily life. Eastern Washington in the 19th century was a rugged, expansive region, characterized by rolling hills, dry plains, and scattered forests. Settlers were few and far between, often separated by many miles of rough terrain. Roads, when they existed, were little more than dirt trails, making travel very difficult, especially in the harsh winter conditions. This geographical remoteness meant that a farmer's nearest neighbors might be several hours or even days away, making social interactions infrequent at best. Communication with the outside world was slow and sporadic. Letters took weeks or months to travel back and forth, and newspapers or books, if available, were a luxury. For many farmers, their primary contact with the world beyond their homestead came through occasional trips to town to purchase supplies or sell goods. These trips were both a necessity and a rare social outlet, but they were also infrequent due to the time and effort involved. The environment itself contributed to the sense of isolation. Eastern Washington's climate features hot, dry summers and cold, snowy winters. The harsh weather could leave farmers stranded on their homesteads for weeks at a time, especially during the winter storms. Crop failures caused by drought, pests, or frost were common, adding economic strain to the emotional hardship. The few social gatherings that did occur, such as church services or barn raisings, were vital for the human connection, but were rare and often disrupted by distance or weather. Women and children on farms experienced additional layers of isolation, as their social roles and responsibilities often kept them even closer to home. The lack of educational opportunities for children and the limited access to health care compounded these challenges. For many, the isolation led to a profound sense of loneliness and, in some cases, depression. The lack of meaningful social interaction could erode mental health, and there were few resources available to address these struggles. Religious faith and personal resilience often served as coping mechanisms, but not everyone found solace in these outlets. The old pioneer ethos of self-reliance and independence, while celebrated, sometimes added to the isolation. Asking for help or expressing vulnerability was often seen as a sign of weakness, leaving farmers to internalize their struggles. Letters and diaries from the time often reflect the deep yearning for connection. the heartbreak of loss, and the determination to endure despite the odds. In conclusion, the isolation and loneliness of a farmer in eastern Washington during the late 1800s and early 1900s were rooted in the vast physical distances, the relentless demands of farming, and the limited opportunities for social interaction. Despite these hardships, many farmers persevered, driven by the hope of building a better future for themselves and their families.